doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know they came all the way here to Australia.
Mm.
But yeah, they chose to make Australia their home. He also had a sister that they don't talk about that sort of essentially got killed by the Nazis. It was
Fuck.
wild.
Yeah.
They gave his sister to someone on the train. They couldn't get on that train. He said that he would like sort of help her get across the border. And yeah, the guy was allegedly bragging and whatnot about, you know, saving Jews and whatnot, and ended up getting the sister killed. It's wild. He ends up having another sister though. But he then goes to school and everything. He loves Aussie rock, and sets up, when he's older, he sets up Mushroom Records. So Mushroom Records is responsible for some of the biggest Aussie acts that we've had, including the what's his face, the Finn Boys. That story is amazing as well. So that plays out in there. So they originally had a different band that they were, and they were really different and whatnot. And one of the singers ended up leaving, and they were like, "Who the fuck are we gonna get?" Like, and they were just like, "Chuck Neal in there. Chuck Neal in there. It'd be all right." And
Have a
they end up,
go.
yeah, they end up making this unbelievable, like, I think third or fourth album. He was very big about sort of letting bands breathe and whatnot, and not just sort of cutting them after the first album if it didn't make money and whatnot. And like he was always chasing a number one record in the US, right? So he grows Mushroom Records. It's a hit. Ends up selling 50% over to the Murdochs, so essentially Fox.
Yep.
Starts going through tribulations, has to sell the rest of it. And then he starts from scratch, man, over again. He's 40 something years old, starts his life all over again. And he wanted to use Mushroom, but he couldn't, obviously. So him and a few of his mates set up Premier Touring. So Premier Touring, if you have a look, is responsible for every single stars touring in Australia. They take care of all of that. If you've ever seen a poster or something for someone that's coming down to Australia, it'll say Premier Touring is bringing out these people, right? So the first act that they bring out is Sting, right? So Sting is freshly sort of divorced himself from the police, and you know that's the person that he wants to bring out. They bring out Sting. And it's a massive hit. Obviously, he's responsible for bringing Billy Joel and Elton John and Foo Fighters. Everyone comes out here because of Premier Touring, right? And then he sets up another record label. I can't remember what it was called.
Melodian Records.
Yeah, Melodian Records. And like, you know, he's going well and everything, and he discovers this little ranger kid in Melbourne. He's over here. He doesn't know what's sort of going on. Like, he's like singing in bars and whatnot, and like he's not getting any traction. He's sleeping on the streets. And Michael brings him into his home, like he did for every other artist. Like that first basically day, he would have a massive party with the artist, and invite them into his home and allow them to cook and meet his family and do all that sort of stuff, just so that they get a little piece of home. But going back, the kid that he finds in Melbourne and signs is fucking what's his face, Ed Sheeran, man. And him and Ed bloody have this unbelievable bloody relationship together. Like he's almost like a surrogate dad to Ed Sheeran. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like whenever he's there, he'll sort of sort him out. Eventually gets his number one record, obviously because of Ed Sheeran. But yeah, eventually his health starts fading. He sets up. There was these massive sets of concerts during COVID because he saw that people weren't actually, you know, the artists weren't making any money. Nobody was making money, and everyone was just at home. So he somehow figured out how to stream these like massive weekly concerts for people during COVID. It was amazing to raise money for something, for charity. It was awesome. I think he raised like $7 million or $8 million or something like that for charity. He's a machine. But this guy's story is just amazing, man. He just like never gave up. He was always like, heading forward. He was the biggest shark. Like, it was just great. But yeah, his health starts faltering, and he just, I think it was a stroke. Was it a stroke or heart attack?
So it was he had heart disease and cirrhosis.
Heart disease, yeah. Yeah. And that's sort of like, it was just so weird to see so many. He also, by the way, signed Kylie, which is next level.
Yeah.
So like Do the Locomotion came out and he absolutely just killed it. Like it's just amazing to see that story, especially for someone on our soil to do all that. Yeah, very inspiring. It was awesome. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like from every artist, when they like recollect being with Michael in the studio or outside of it, they always said he was very much a person where it wasn't about the money, it was always about the music. And whether he was looking for a new sound or he was helping to sort of mentor people to help them, like it wasn't studio control, it was just very much you do what you feel you want to do with this album. And that was like Cold Chisel back in the day before Jimmy Barnes separated. Kylie, bloody Split Ends. Shout out to Message to My Girl. Banger. Yeah. It was just awesome. And Music from the Home Front is that thing he set up during COVID. Yeah.
Amazing.
Man. Yeah. He had fucking everyone there.
Insane.
And it was weird though, thinking about like when they talk about he was jet setting even from the 70s as well.
Yeah.
Like, and he was always in a pub, always looking for a new sound. Like he was always moving, like Dave said. Always there. He was always just key. He had his ear to the ground all the time. He was a machine like that.
Like they say that he'd come in like the Tasmanian devil. And he'd whiz in and watch them for like 10 minutes or something, and then, hey, sorry, I need to go. There's another band playing just down here. I need to go see them, and then jet out to go see that band. Like that was the nights.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, you put the work in, man.
There's a story he says. I think it's Jimmy Barnes that he's talking about, I think, or it was someone, but they couldn't keep track of Jimmy, I think it was, and they're like going through all these different pubs trying to fucking find him.
I was
Fucking
doing
hilarious.
the Golden Mile.
It was some no, it wasn't Jimmy Barnes. It was some massive star, and they were like, "Do you want to find so and so? He's sleeping out the front of some pub here in Melbourne or something."
Is it that Hunter and Crossbones guy or whatever the hell it was called?
I don't know. But yeah, and you have to go get him.
That's wild.
It was nuts.
But yeah,
that sounds
awesome. It was a really good docker.
Yeah.
Very
and this
inspiring.
flew.
Yeah.
Like, this was like an hour and a half, hour 40. It felt like I was in there for 30 minutes, man. The pacing was incredible. They got all of like the explanation out in the beginning, and the rest of it was just recollection of everything he did all the way until he passed. And man, what a career. Like, it's just unreal.
This guy's dead.
Yeah. Passed away in 2021. Yeah. A year into COVID.
Wild shit.
Definitely recommend though. 100% recommend.